Today is our second annual Public Safety Awareness Day, and our goal today is to provide the citizens of Casa Grande and the surrounding communities to an opportunity to meet and greet a little bit with their public servants, including law enforcement, fire, county officials, different organizations in the community that provide public service to them. Of course, we have the local police department and fire department, but we also have the county emergency management agency, and we have the sheriff's office is here. They have their DUI task force vehicle here. Border Patrol is here from their local Tucson sector. We have our animal care and control office. The Casa Grande Alliance is here with, and they're an organization that provides substance abuse education and resources for the community. Our canine officers, along with Pinal County's canine officers, are here doing hourly demonstrations on the techniques that the canines use. Well, our police department is community policing oriented. So the mission of the department obviously is to provide a transparent image to let the community know that we are not only serving them, but a part of them. And this provides that outlet or that venue for people to come in, look at our equipment. They can actually step into our SWAT vehicles, and they can talk to the canine officers and pet the dogs, and definitely creates a better relationship, or if there wasn't one at all between those individuals and the police department or the public servants, it creates a new relationship, but hopefully a better relationship for them and for us.
I'm in charge of all the volunteer services, which consist of about 100 volunteers. They vary from very many different job descriptions: Citizens on Patrol, Crisis Response Unit, which is like victim services, as well as the Silent Witness Board. Senior Phone Patrol is a program that is offered for seniors or anybody 55 and older that live alone. They get called 365 days a year, 7 days a week by a volunteer. Companionship kind of program to make sure that they made it through the evening, kind of just to make sure that they're still okay and there's nothing too concerning. If we don't reach them, we do a welfare check on them, and that is for Senior Phone Patrol. Citizens on Patrol is a program that is volunteers that go out and patrol the neighborhoods. They're ears and eyes for the city of Casa Grande's police department, and they help out with just kind of seeing what's going on in the communities and different neighborhoods and try to keep it safe for the residents. And then we have the Silent Witness Board is members that it's a separate identity, but it is a partnership with the Casa Grande Police Department, and the board members actually get to get information about other cases that have been solved, people that call in anonymously. They don't leave a name or a number, but they do have some kind of award that they can get from it. They can contact me. My name is Wendy Edwards, and my phone number is 520-421-8711. My extension is 6140, or they can reach through the website, which is www.casagrandeaz.gov, as well. And they click on volunteers, and I get if they're interested, they can email me through that as well.
Out here today, we are just previewing what our job is, handing out some pamphlets, things about licensing your animals, winter or seasonal health care of animals, not leaving them in hot cars, trying to adopt out some animals, just letting it known that we're here. A lot of people don't even know where we're located. Some of the requirements and responsibilities of pet owners, obviously, to add or make sure it's adequate food and water for your pet at all times, and that means fresh water every day. You don't want to have dirty water or warm water every day, especially in the summer. They need shelter, food, and water every day. And licensing your pet, adequate tags so we can find them back to their home, because things happen. They get out. They're going to get loose. They're dogs. They want to wander. Spaying and neutering your animals so they don't want to wander. But license tags, microchipping, things like that. Licensing is the biggest benefit for your pet. It is probably one of the healthiest things you can do for your pet. all it requires to license your animal, and it is a legal obligation as a pet owner in the city of Casa Grande for your cat and your dog. They must be licensed. And that is saying that they are current on the rabies shot, which rabies is a disease that we can get. So for the community, we want to make sure the community is safe. So they have the rabies shot, and you go to the city hall and get your license and put it on your animal. If we find your animal, we can get him back home to you. If he doesn't have it on, now they have to wear it. It can't be sitting in a drawer someplace. You need to put it on your animal. Which a lot of times they say, yes, he has a tag, but he doesn't have it on him, and it doesn't do us any benefit. They can't talk. So we need something to tell them how to get home. And we want to, that's our, we don't want your animal. We want to get him home to you, okay? This is Sparky. He came as a stray. And we know he's got some Chihuahua in him, and we think maybe a little Corgi, so we're calling him a Chorgi. So he's a designer breed, and our adoption fees are $150. Takes care of his neutering. He's already been neutered, his rabies shot, his distemper parvo combination, and his license with the city. And he's pretty tired right now because he's had a lot of handling, but he's ready to find a forever home. If somebody's watching and want to adopt this pet, they can call us at 426-9300. It's on a voice messaging service. We'll call you back. We'll set up a time for you because we want to make sure we're there. There's only a couple of us in the office, and we'll get you in. If you have another pet, you'll want to bring it so we can see how they get along. And otherwise, we'll get you visiting each other and send you off with each other and see if it's the right fit.
I'm out here to make sure that everybody has alarm permits. The city requires that everybody who has an alarm system within the city have a permit for it. We also started a new alarm ordinance back on June 1st of 2008, which requires the permits. And we also track for false alarms. Our officers they respond to about 3,000 per year alarm calls. 98 to 99% of those are false. So basically we're out here to offer alarm awareness classes to the public. I'm also responsible for the graffiti abatement program. We started that back in March of 2004, and basically we track graffiti sites around the city. If there's graffiti, we ask that the homeowner remove it within 15 days. That's in our ordinance. If they don't remove it, or if they need help removing it, we use adult probationers and take them out. We have a volunteer who takes them out, and they paint around the city. And we use resources such as adult probation. Anybody who wants to donate paint to the city can. Graffiti can be reported through the website, through police officers, through just calling straight to the police department, different ways.
I'm the executive director of the Casa Grande Alliance. We're a drug prevention coalition, and we're all about keeping kids off drugs. So we came to the Public Safety Day to do a prescription drug turn-in. We partner with the Casa Grande Alliance, the police department, and the Pinal County Attorney James Walsh to do these drug turn-ins. We're all about getting the medications out of the home and into the disposal unit of the Casa Grande Police Department. Prescription drug abuse is one of the major problems that we're facing among youth today. Children in Casa Grande are about 1 out of 5 of our teenagers admit to abusing prescription drugs. They especially like pain relievers, like OxyContin, and they like medications that make you feel sleepy, like Soma. So we want to get those medications out of homes and disposed of properly. We don't want them going down the toilet because we're finding that there are medications and trace chemicals in our water system. So because of the prescription drug abuse problem among young people and young adults, it's very important that we get these medications destroyed. We also would like to make sure that people monitor the medications they have in their home, that they destroy the ones that they no longer need, and that they secure the ones that are in their home, so that if you have medications in your home, and many of us do, we all seem to have a pharmacy in our bathroom, we want to make sure that those are secured and they're put in a place where people cannot have easy access to them. Simple things like don't leave your medicine in the kitchen cabinet, Don't leave them under your bathroom counter. Instead, put them in a box and maybe put them on the top shelf in your closet. Hide them in the underwear drawer. Put them in a place where kids are not likely to look. Now, let me say it's not just children we're worried about. But you may have, let's say, a 25-year-old nephew that comes for dinner and he needs to use your bathroom. You have no idea that he's actually addicted to drugs. You don't want to give him an opportunity to have access to those either. Also, people who come into your home that provide a service, like a plumber or an electrician. Oh, excuse me, ma'am, may I use your restroom? So he goes in your restroom and he avails himself of what you make available, and which is your medications. On April 30th, we're going to have another drug turn-in event in cooperation with Casa Grande Police Department and Department of Public Safety. We will have that turn-in at the Department of Public Safety building on Pinal and Centennial, on the north end of Pinal. And we also advertise these take-back events, which happen a couple of times a year. There are also ways that you can dispose of it in your home. You can go on to the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality website, and they explain how to dispose of those meds. And I'll tell you just a couple of things. You can take those medications and crush those pills, and then mix them with something nasty like coffee grounds or dirt, and then put them in a container that seals. It could be even like an old Tide bottle, and then you can throw them right in your trash. All of us want to believe that our kids would never do these things, that they would not take our medications. So if you're not worried about your own children, think about the friends of your children and think about the homes where your children play. So I want everyone to think about their own homes, but also grandma and grandpa and our older folks, aunts and uncles, that even if you only have kids come to your home once or twice a year when the grandchildren come to visit, we want to keep them safe. If you keep your medications in a basket on your kitchen counter, which many of us do, please be sure and put those away when the kids come. Today's drop-off event was incredibly successful. We received medications and liquids and sharps, which are syringes, from probably 25 people, and we're estimating that we have 45 pounds of medications. That's after taking them out of the bottles and dumping them into a big bag, about 45 pounds of pills, which is a lot of medication. So that's 45 pounds of medicines that will not be in our water system and will not be in children.
This is just a small demonstration of what the abilities of the canines in our unit can do. It's a small little apprehension exercise that we use the dog to actually go into the vehicle, apprehend the subject that's being in the vehicle, so we don't have an officer walk up and then engage the subject with unknown weapons or what he's actually prepared to do from inside the vehicle. We're going to deploy the dog. It's a safer aspect to save an officer's life. Every situation varies, but in short term, what it's going to be is we had to just say this vehicle, we're wanting to stop this vehicle for whatever reason. We stop the vehicle, the subject inside, we have a confrontation with it, we pull back to secure the area. The subject's refusing to come out to direct orders of us. We're going to use the dog as a less lethal use to be able to go in there and say, and pretty much demand the guy to come out. We're going to give him several warnings. Hey, come out. We're going to send the dog. We're going to give him a response saying that if you do not come out, the dog is going to bite you, and give him the opportunity to self-surrender. If the subject still stays in the vehicle, he refuses to come out, the dog's going to be deployed. He's going to go in the vehicle. He's going to bite the subject, and then we're going to have the dog pull the subject out of the vehicle. And the dog does that by the commands that we give him. And then that's when we could take the subject into custody when the dog's apprehended him. There's also a Dorpropus dog where he's trained in searching for illicit drugs, marijuana, heroin, cocaine, and meth. If it's in there, my dog can search for it, smells, alerts to it. That goes to asset forfeitures, it goes to drug seizures, it goes for warrants. We use them in SWAT ops. When the SWAT team goes, my dog goes in there, use them for a safer aspect to save officers' lives, to go in there to apprehend hidden subjects. Area searches where people flee from a house, my dog can search to use for that. It's pretty much any aspect that you can use. Article search is something that most people don't use as dogs. Is if someone's running, they throw marijuana, they throw a gun, they throw knives, take gloves off that they used in a burglary, throw them on the ground. The dog can actually be deployed, used, and it could find and locate those items and be turned in as evidence for any kind of DNA, fingerprints, so on and so forth, to samples. We like to educate the community, saying that these dogs get away from the hindrance. Most people think, oh, the police dogs are a vicious animal. They're really not. These are sociable dogs. You've seen them if you were out here, that the kids were petting them, loving on them, just directly right after biting, coming and apprehending a guy. It's immediately after. They're there to have. They're lovable dogs. They're going to be very apprehended to go out to do what we tell them, to come back over here and you can pet them. Same with the dope work. These dogs live with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're in my household. They're around my children. We just try to educate the community to say, hey, this is what they can do. This is why we have them. They're here for not only the community safety, for the officer's safety to save lives, and to be able to go out there and to be able to get the interdiction of the drugs and everything out of your cities and out of your streets.